Oh, good morning, my lovelies. It's a special edition of 20 Minutes of Coffee, which I guarantee will be at least 25 minutes. I think that'll be the plan. Maybe 30, maybe more. We are here, but we're here at a different studio. And I've got an Uncrustable. This is my breakfast. I've never actually read what's on the front here. Unbeatably soft bread. Well, you know what? I got to tell you something. I respect that because that's a fact. In order to save $1 or $2, have been, even at the outlet store that I shop at now, I got, I won't say off-brand Uncrustables, but just a different brand's version of Uncrustables, and the bread was tremendously hard. Crunchy even. Not in a good way, not in a sexy way. You want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to be crunchy. I don't even know if that's a thing. So Uncrustables cannot be beat. You know what I learned? There's that guy who's now very popular on Instagram and now YouTube, Chef Reactions. He's kind of a sardonic, lovably, cynically grumpy chef at a 5-star kind of chef, and he started reacting to people's videos. He's very funny. He gives credit when credit is due, and he pokes fun where fun is due to be poked. But he mentioned he was at the Mid-State Fair, or I say Mid-State Fair because that's what I grew up with, but like the State Fair in Minneapolis. And someone brought up Uncrustables. He's like, oh, the Uncrustables are great. I still eat Uncrustables. So there you go. You can eat Uncrustables. This is a public edition for everyone from the beginning. David McKay, we're at 6 p.m. where he is, his quote bread. It's timeout, McKay, for at least 30 seconds. Attacking. John Mariano's here. Good morning, no egg sandwich. Jen Murrow has promised that there is a bagel place near us that won't be as good as something on Long Island, but we'll have an egg sandwich that's good enough for me to try and maybe even review. I'm going to do just a car review on Uncrustables. It's been kind of a busy week in a fun way, so that's what's happening. I guess I should set the table. We are doing 20 minutes of coffee right now. Normally, this is live only for channel members, and normally I'm on the other side of the room, right over there, my Studio B. But I am not going to be able to do the blathering tomorrow night. I thought I was going to be able to do the blathering tomorrow night. I have to go do, you're going to laugh, I have to go do a photo shoot tomorrow, midday. And which I messed up my beard while trimming last night. One of the worst things you can do. Yeah, this side's all messed up. And I'm not gonna be back in time. And I'm not gonna lie. The Miami Dolphins are playing on Thursday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills. And instead of doing the blathering, I'm gonna watch the game. It's on Amazon Prime. I'm a Prime member. You can become a channel member here. I'm a Prime member there. And I'm going to watch some football. So there you go. What are you going to do? But I'm happy to announce that next week, we're working it out. Negotiations are happening. Mark Riley is going to be on the blathering. We had Josh McCouga last week. We're going to do a one piece at a time GPA reunion. So next week, we're looking at Mark Riley popping in to the blathering, and we'll do about 45 minutes with Mark, talk about things going on with him. He's got some stuff coming up to his YouTube channel he wants you to know about, and I want you to know about, and then we're going to hang out there. And then, maybe Eric Bass. But you're trying to, find a way to get Eric Bass on the show, too. I haven't talked to him in a while, and he is busy. Yes, David McKay says X-Men's were on Twitch as well. So what I decided to do, Let's do some coffee. Let's open it up to the public. We always make the videos public right after I broadcast them. Normally, it's just for channel members here, like Kingsport Cal and Laserbolt Videos, Dave McKay, John Mariano, 8984M, the whole crew. Zekos is here. So become a channel member so you, too, can get in there. This is Riley going to stay for 30 minutes. He's got, as long as he wants. But he's got that baby. I was on the phone with him yesterday, and, we had a great conversation. I was driving home from Fandom, and we were chatting, and, he's got the baby in his arm. He's feeding the baby sweet pea mush or something like that. Sweet potato mush or something. What do kids eat? What do babies eat? I don't know. Some kind of mush. Matty Gutter's here. But yes, I'm gonna watch the Dolphin game, and it's laser ball, laser ball. Hope Tyreek Hill makes it to the game safely. I hope he does too. He will. No one's asking my opinion on his detention and arrest. Um, so I shouldn't give it, but I'm going to give it a little bit. I watched all the footage. I have watched every angle of that arrest. I'm horrified by some of the things. Not surprised by a lot of things. It actually looked pretty normal, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. This is not. I'm no one here should think that I am not naive enough to believe that complying equals safety. There's been too many tragic cases where that has not happened, and many that we don't even know about. So let's be clear about that. As someone who's been involved in over 1,000 arrests, I can tell you there's a lot of things I've seen. I saw in the footage that was that's an error there, that's a fumble there. But it does start with 65 and a 45, and it does start with a license being handed over. But a tinted window rolled back up is never going to be a good thing. That's never gonna lead to good things. It's not an excuse for anything that happened after. There's a bigger conversation to be had about what I've said for a long time. And I saw one commentator really nail it. God, I wish it was just you're scrolling on social media and you see some great commentating about it. And I should have bookmarked it, give the person credit. It was someone that talked about what I've talked about for a while, which is the hardened hearts of law enforcement. They at that point do not treat. It's not even. He didn't identify himself as Tyreek Hill of the Miami Dolphins. He handed his license over, and maybe they could have figured it out. That shouldn't necessarily change the ticket. Shouldn't change the stop. To be clear, speeding in a low speed limit zone as you're heading to a stadium full of people walking, that's going to get your attention, no matter who you are. So I agree with the stop being initiated, but yeah, they don't treat people as humans at that point, and that is the hardened heart of law enforcement, and that's something I've been involved with. That's something I've done. The arrest becomes almost theater. The arrest at that point becomes, I'm going to say the words that I'm going to say. I'm going to say, get the F out of the car, get the F on the ground, stop crying. It's almost theater. It's almost everyone playing a part. And then that's how I think it escalates. And it's because there's a emotional disconnect that maybe sometimes has to be there. And if you are involved with hundreds of arrests every year, most of them maybe go fine, but a lot of them don't. And you just start, it becomes robotic. It becomes a test of strength. It becomes a show of your will versus theirs. And that's where I think a lot of ugliness happens. Nothing here I'm saying is going to solve anything. Nothing here even needs to be said by me in this situation. But as a Miami Dolphin fan, I watched every bit of that. Tyreek Hill's one of my favorite players right now, but that doesn't erase some of his sins off field. He's had some problems, and I hope he grows and I hope he moves forward because he seems like he wants to this time around. But I'm not sitting down at a Buffalo Wild Wings with Tyreek Hill to find out who he is. So anyways, no one wants my opinion on it. I don't need to give more of my opinion, but it was all part of the week, man. It was quite a week. It was quite a big news week. We normally on 20 Minutes of Coffee, we just go to the headlines there. And I there it is. There it is. Yeah. No, this might be the biggest news of the day that everyone's talking about. By the way, this is like the 23rd anniversary of 9/11. As you know, I am one of those people that is, I always say weirdly obsessed with 9/11. That's not it. I just say that to kind of maybe make it make sense for myself. Christian Ruvacaba and I, the Wagner Show, talk about this all the time. It's just something that it just never leaves my mind. 23 years later, it never leaves my mind. And I wasn't in New York. I was here. I was watching on the news. I was affected at work by it and have memories of those days, but I wasn't there. Unlike other stand-up comedians in the past who've said it. Oh, now why is a pop-up ad? I'm having a serious 9/11 conversation, and there's a pop-up ad. I did like that Trump and Harris shook hands at 9/11. He says, "Good job." This is the day he became presidential. We'll get to the presidential debate there. Enough. Yeah, but this is This is the weird thing to say here. 20 minutes of coffee. By the way, how everyone do it. Tador's, sorry, am I saying that name? Theodore. I hope I'm saying that right. 1,000 arrests. Yeah, I've personally been involved with over 1,000 arrests in my public safety career. So I have some experiences and thoughts whenever I see arrests in many different directions. But he says, I started to be interested in the Dolphins because Ace Ventura. What a movie. I didn't love Ace Ventura, and I should have because it had Dan Marino in it. I don't know. And we got Chef's Reactions is awesome. He is. Chef Reactions is good. Yeah. Anyways, today is actually the morning of 9/11, and I this is an off year for me. This is I as Cal says, never forget. I don't forget. It's always in mind. But last year, I watched maybe 10 docs, most of which I've seen before. I almost did like a real time remembrance. Last year I was in it, and again I don't know why. Is it morbid? Is it like I said, a weird obsession? I don't know. It's just some years I don't turn my eye away from it. And last year Christian Ruvalcaba and I don't want to bring him into a conversation he doesn't want to be in. We were exchanging texts. Did you see this doc? Did you watch this one? You should watch Turning Point, which, by the way, you should watch The Turning Point. The Turning Point series is one of my favorite ones. You heard me talk about the bomb and the Cold War Turning Point. The one before that was the 9/11 one. That's a 9-part doc that leads us to it, leads us out of it, and all the problems. I read a book. I have a book about how 9/11 led to Trump, all those kind of things. It's fascinating stuff. This year, I took an off year from it. It's on my mind. I didn't want to stew in it. Didn't want to sit in it. And here it is on the morning. I turned this show on the day. And I was like, oh God, today, looking at the date on my computer, it is 9/11. Not that I should stop. We should stop living. That's how they win. We should live. All that kind of stuff. Yeah, but it just weird week, weird time. Not that it pushes anything into the background for me on that incident. It's just I've done this before. I think even for the 20th anniversary, I didn't pay attention to anything. I have friends who were in New York. I have friends who ran from the towers, all those kind of things, and they're still working through things years later. It was big. This is why, and this is going to seem really stupid. I'm live on air. I'm going to say stupid stuff at some point. When I talk over in the Star Wars world about content or stories around Order 66, sometimes I'm like, I want to hear all different angles on it. It's pretty big to the Star Wars story. It's pretty big in that lore. It's an incident that probably a lot of people, maybe even they don't know what Order 66 was. They know what happened. And I do, for the Jedi Order, they obviously know. I want different angles on it. And I become, as a Star Wars fan, become obsessed with that. And that's kind of I'm not connecting that to 9/11. I'm just saying we have those things in our lives. Space Shuttle Challenger exploding, where we all saw it. For some, might be the Reagan assassination attempt, might be the John Lennon assassination, might be Kennedy. We all those things that are Pearl Harbor, life-changing, historic things that we all look at from different angles. And I never want to see. I never want to stop seeing all those different angles. That's where I'm at. All right, but let's get to the important stuff. Taylor Swift. It's important that Taylor did this. It's important. And it's not just a response to Brittany Mahomes. What are you going to do? Brittany Mahomes, I'm not surprised by her being sympathetic towards anything around Trump or his camp. Not surprised at all. Her right to do it. But this is huge. This is huge. This is the kind of world we live in this engagement influencer society, where one of the most, if not right now, the most famous woman in the world, I'd put her top 5 in terms of fame in the world, who used to be very apolitical and used to keep it all under wraps. I saw someone cynically saying that she decided to become political to save her career. I don't think going political, quote unquote, going political, by the way. I think you're always political. Even if you're apolitical, you're political. You're making a choice. I don't think it was done to save her career. I think it was just the sign of the times. I'm someone who's remained in my material over the years, live streams and podcasts and everything, try to stay out of that mire. And it's a mire. It's a mire and a muck, politics. But then after a while, you just can't anymore. You just can't. And I would not feel right if I could stayed completely apolitical. I'm trying to be more silly. I'm trying to get back to some of that. I'm trying to eat Uncrustables on air and review them in my car. And that can be what it is. I want to get back to being a little bit more fun because sometimes the mire and the muck of politics and addressing it is not fun. And the reactions are not fun. And I dip my toe and sometimes pull back because I just don't want to deal with it. But I think it's big. I think it's huge. I think this will go down in the history books as one of the more important moments when Taylor Swift said, "Yep, here's what I'm doing," in a very well written and eloquent post. Again, a post, wasn't a statement, wasn't a press release. It was a post of her and her cat, and her signing it, Taylor Swift, childless cat lady. It's huge, huge. Huge. It's huge. It's gonna be something that absolutely changes perhaps the future of our world. Believe it or not, I really believe that because the Swifties are strong, and we can make fun of the Swifties, but it's gonna affect things. It's gonna affect things as we have older generations dying off before this next election, and have died off. Many of them from COVID that they didn't believe in, and the new generation steps up. We're going to see, I think we're on the other verge of a generational shift. Huge, says Haskell. Sorry, I'm not going to see you, Haskell. I'm not going to New York. I'm not going to New York this October. Apologize. I was hoping to see lovely folks like Haskell in New York, but not going to be there. We got a Kike Shively here. We got 898. Where? There's. These comments change sometimes. Welcome to the show, Kike Shively. I gotta get a Kaika. On the blathering. That's what we got to do, so we can talk about the Oakland A's becoming the Las Vegas A's. All right. Let me get this down here. So good. Uncrustables are they're one of the perfect creations. They're absolutely perfect. I died on air, choking on an Uncrustable. That was a big bite. Woo! This is what we do. This is where's that Ken guy from the Schmoes days? What's he doing now? He's eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and choking on air. Ikaika says, can we talk about the A's one day? Yeah, we'll talk about the A's one day. You sucker. We'll call it, here's, Ikaika and I are trying to play Fortnite too. But Ikaika, I'm going to call you out on air right now. Every time I sign in and I see you in Fortnite, you're in duos. And I ain't playing with strangers. Right? If I sign in and you're playing duos, we're not going to be playing. I play with enough people. Sometimes I want to play by myself. Sometimes I just want to listen to music and play Fortnite. But other times I like playing with people. But I want to play with strangers. Ikaika. 8984 I'm going to get Uncrustable today for Ken. Beautiful. If you got questions, if you got something, hit me. If you got a specific question, I'm sorry, I got to catch up to the comments. That's not, 20 minutes of coffee is usually like 4 of us hanging out. There you go. That's what I needed, Kaika. Just let me know and I'll drop my friend for Fortnite. There you go. Yeah, you just kick your friend out. What do you got? My other friend's here. I'm not your friend anymore. That's what you got to do. Regarding the debate last night, I did watch the debate from beginning to end from Kamala. It needs to be addressed that wrestling fans from the 1980s cannot say the name right because we are thinking of the 80s wrestling heel. So I apologize. Kamala Harris. I know her name. Sometimes I wish she was the one who fought Hulk Hogan in the 80s and not Jim Harris, who wrestled as Kamala. I watched the debate. I watched a VP Harris race across the stage, put her hand out, and force Donald Trump to shake it, which was great. But he shakes her hand today at the. You're seeing it on screen now. He shakes her hand today. So he was posturing last night, which is the debates are. I think debates are important, and you got to watch, got to pay attention. But I also don't think they're a needle mover. I don't get caught too much in the hype. But last night was crazy to watch at times. The whole him falling for the the racist conspiracy theory about Haitian immigrants eating pets in Ohio and him using that in his debate was wonderfully insane. A lot of that's going on, and I think the Veep did great. But I also think there was times where she didn't answer questions directly, where I was thinking, yeah, I'd like to know your thoughts on that. What is the answer on that? But it's all a game. It's a chess move, and she kept putting the little pieces out there for him to trip over, and he tripped over it every time. My favorite part was her talking about everyone leaving the rallies because they're bored, and that's the worst thing to say to him. No, that's the worst thing to say to him. Nope, no one's leaving. I'm not bored. No one's even at your rallies. Her rallies, or you can't even fit more people into them. I don't know if Trump knows there's this thing called video that exists. We all have little movie-making machines on what we used to call our telephones. We've seen the rallies. Hers are to the rafters. His, not so much. His are like WCW in 1999, right? Hers are WCW in 1996. And ask Hogan about that, Trump. He'll know. But Hogan would lie, too. So that was my favorite part, to watch him just crack and throw it all up. Throw it all up. Yeah, Vermont Mike says, but that the ridiculous claims that babies were being aborted post-birth. Yeah, that's the thing. I agree with Vermont Mike, too. The moderators need to be more obvious in correcting the false claims. That was upsetting a lot of folks, too. Grace was watching it with her sister. She's visiting her sister. So she went home, and she was just texting me of just like this. Grace was saying, this is what it's like to kind of be a woman in America. You're qualified for the position. You're better qualified than the person across from you. You're smarter, more capable, not lying as much. There's always some lies to hold in debates on both sides. Let's be honest about that. But you still have to play equal. You still have to act like you're equal to this buffoon. And that was what a lot about last night. But it was an improvement over the Biden situation. And I was one who wanted to keep Biden around. And I was wrong about that. But I wasn't. I'm still surprised about the reaction to Harris. So it was fascinating to watch. It was important to watch. I think it was a sea change, a shift. We'll see. It's still going to be close. And I keep repeating this over and over and over again. We don't want to be a football player celebrating before they get into the end zone. And I pick on Leon Lett, if you know that, from the 90s. Dallas Cowboy lineman. Good play, great player at times. A couple bonehead plays that he gets remembered for. And people like me keep mentioning it. So I apologize to the legacy of Leon Lett on the football field. But we, those, I should say, that are preparing to vote for Harris, or at least not vote for Trump, let's get to the ball. Let's get the ball in the end zone. Yeah, Aaron watching on Twitch, Aaron the author, who is, Aaron plays poorly. We don't have any facts that Aaron plays video games poorly. We don't know that, Aaron. The fact that it's going to be close is mind-boggling to me. Yeah, it's mind-boggling, but that's the thing. That's why the Taylor Swift endorsing Kamala and Walz is, I think, going to move the needle way more than debate. Again, people make jokes. I don't know who's undecided sitting there watching this, going, okay, he's made a good point. She's made a good point. I don't know. You know, it's a pep rally. Same with the DNCs and the RNCs and everything. They're pep rallies, but that's okay. One of the things I hope this is talked about more. And I'd be curious, especially someone like Vermont Mike, who follows politics pretty closely too, and anyone else out there who follows it closely. I am really fascinated. I want more conversation about a shorter election cycle. I think that's a benefit too. You're always going to be working for re-election. You're always going to be preparing. You're always going to have teams in place. I know, but we here in America start landing that plane. 2 months out or 2 years out. Other countries don't, and I don't know if there's benefits to what we've done versus problems with some of the other. In France, you could just say election tomorrow. Is that the best answer? I don't know. But what I enjoy right now is just a shorter, more compact. Let's get to the game. Let's do this. Let's quit all the talking Get the policies out there. Between social media, commercial spots, news coverage 24 hours a day, we get who these people are. Let's just get to the polls. Vermont Mike says other countries don't ramp up the public side of the race until just a few weeks before the election. Yeah. And again, I want to know what the benefit is to going long now, because we've been my entire lifetime has been 2-year cycles for elections, and the money that churns up, and then it becomes a game about getting money, then it becomes about raising funds, then and that's where a lot of problems come in. So I'm not saying money is not involved in a shorter election cycle, of course. I'm not naive to think that, but I'm just saying for all of us, this is, as they say with most elections, because it's true, the most important election of our time. That's true. That's very true. But it does wear you down to the point where you could get cynical. It's easier to get cynical where you're like, two years of these fucksticks talking back and forth. I don't want it. Just get to it. Let's get to it. 898 for says Harris campaign is short, but it's still at least twice as long as the UK general. Yeah. Aaron says, 100% agree. And fully the generational shift can't come fast enough. It is coming. Okay, I'm gonna take a smaller bite of this. Well, I should just take this down. Since I'm normally not on this computer for doing 20 minutes of coffee, my little overlay blocks my face. I wanted to sit at this desk today. I got a lot of writing to do today. Today's a writing day. And as Aaron will tell you, there's nothing a writer hates more than writing. So I decided to do this show to stall out. I'm just doing this show not because I love you. I love you, and I'm glad people like Kaika Shively are here to catch up with me. But I'm distracting myself from the writing I need to get done. What do you want? Any specific questions, come on in here. Usually we don't. Usually 20 minutes of coffee is me just rambling. It's me just saying hello. I do want to thank Josh McCouga last week for coming on the show. And let me do this. He has been doing some content on his... Oh, there we go. He's got an interview with the Cleveland... Look at that. All right, I'm going to share the screen here just a second. I'm just getting this all hooked up here. All right, so check this out. So head over to Josh McCouga's YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Look at this jerk. Hi, Ken. Big fan. I agree. I'm tired. It's gone too long. Let's wrap it up. Ruvacaba, I was talking earlier. By the way, sorry, I'm having net problems today, too. When it gets hot in Burbank, the net goes. Ruvacaba, I was talking earlier about today being 9/11, but I kind of took the year off from going into my deep dives. Last year, you and I were texting every day, going hiking still. And we don't go hiking anymore. Ruvacaba backed off the hikes. He goes with his fiance and dog. He has a job on Fridays. He can't go hiking with me. I've only hiked once in the last year or two, by the way. It's too hot, man. It's today's cool. Anyways, check out Josh McCouga's channel. We had him on last week. I want to thank him for that. He just interviewed Kevin Stefanski. He knows Kevin through his brother Ben, and of course his brother Ben passed away, and Josh is sharing part of that story now on these videos. So check it out. He gave a channel update of what he's going to do. So love Josh. You got to spend some time with him 3 weeks ago and last week on the show. So support what he's doing over there and check it out. He's pouring his heart out into all the things on that channel that he's gonna do. All right. It's all right. What is Ruvacaba saying? What is he doing? What's going on here? Come on, man. Too many lies last night. We don't need more here. Yeah, where's the lie? Where's the lie? One day I was like, you hike next week? He's like, I really can't. I don't like you. We'll settle this on a future Wanger show. I hiked 2 weeks ago. Nearly killed myself. And the last week it was like 110. What's today? Today's Wednesday. Was it last Thursday? Last Friday, I think it was. And Saturday. I mean, one of those days, it was 114 in Burbank. Now, it's hot season. It's the summer into the fall. The heat itself is not unusual. But you have to start wondering when we're setting records like this. You have to start wondering when Phoenix, Arizona sets a record for most consecutive days of 100-degree triple-digit weather. When Burbank sets its own personal record, the highest day heat-wise at Burbank in its recorded history. In 20 years' time, Phoenix is not going to be livable, right? That's the story that goes there. That's an article out there. I haven't talked to every scientist about it, but it's out there. You have to start to wonder. So I don't know where to go next. I'm going to go to Tennessee and hang out with Cal. Kaika says, give us fall weather. It's almost here. Today's cool. Yeah. Aaron says, so ridiculous. I was in Disneyland last month. Ooh, look at Aaron bragging. Ooh. And the heat practically killed me. You hear that humble brag from Aaron? I was in Disneyland. I'm called Moneybags. Yeah, we get it. I'm kidding. I'm jealous. I want to go to Disneyland again. I haven't been to Disneyland since 2020. And I enjoy Disneyland. God, this Uncrustable's great. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, it's good breakfast. I didn't mean for that to be my breakfast. But there we are. I just woke up late. Wasn't feeling good. I was up late last night. You know what I've been doing? Akaika says, going to Disneyland in October when you're gone. Yeah, I got a wedding. Poor Akaika, too. He's always like, hey, I'm in town. Like, look, I need 2 months warning. And then he gives me 2 months warning. I'm like, I'm gone. Got a wedding going on. By the way, I don't even know. Christian Ruvalcaba might actually be married by now. I think he's getting married soon. He's traveling to Brazil or Portugal to get married. I miss going to Disneyland, though. My favorite thing about Disneyland, could I tell you? Kings Fork House says, Ken, we can go fishing at the Holston River and sip White Claws. One of these days, I cannot wait until Kingsport Cal and I meet. We're going to meet. I think Kingsport Cal and I could be the new Larry David and JB Smoove. I really think we could. I think we could be Larry David and Leon Black from Curb Your Enthusiasm. I think people could film Cal and I traveling the world. That's the travel channel I want. That's the travel channel show I want. Simon loves his favorite thing about Disneyland: turkey legs and 114 plus degree weather. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, God bless it. That's a great line, Simon. Nothing better than just a warm hunk of meat in your hand, the sun melting everything around you. Here's the thing I love the most about Disneyland. I am 48 years old now. The last time I was at Disneyland, 2020. So, what? Do the math. Earlier. 43, 44, whatever. Yeah, 43. That's how long the pandemic was. I remember turning like 44, 45, 46 in it. I love parking. This seems weird at Disneyland. For those that I haven't parked at Orlando. I've only been there for like one night with that Star Wars Celebration press night they had there. So we got bussed in. I didn't park there. But in Anaheim, you get off the 5, get off at Disneyland Drive, you veer off and then you turn left, and then you got that private lane. It's that private carpool lane. You drive in, boo, and you go over, what is that, Harbor or Catella? I can't remember. And then you go into Disneyland, and you go straight into the parking structure. They got you. You're trapped. I don't even think you can turn around. Parking is expensive now. Obviously, it's like $30 or higher. But there's so much excitement. To me, the parking structure is the first ride of Disneyland. Like you're just like, ooh, what level are we gonna get? It's the Mickey and Friends parking structure. Oh God! And there's other ways. There's other layers to park. Sometimes you come around by downtown Disney and you park in that little open lot. But you get in there and then you do the walk, and everyone's trying. So this is where I respect kids, 8-year-old kids just bolting. Parents trying to keep up with them because I'm doing the speed walk, and you're walking fast and your hips are swaying left and right, and you're trying to do the speed walk. You're trying to get to the tram. I walk into Disneyland sometimes too. I walk into Disneyland. It takes a longer. I love the tram. You get on that tram, a little breeze in your face, and you just dream. It's an anticipation thing. It's like driving into Vegas. I prefer driving into Vegas than flying. I have the option because of where I live. I love driving, and I love I was just watching Knocked Up. I did this weird memory. I watched a lot of my old favorite like rom-commy movies just to take my pulse and see where I was as a romantic partner. And Paul Rudd and Seth Rogen kind of are paying homage to swingers where they're driving to Vegas and you see the light, you see the Luxor light. I love that moment. I love it. Whether you're driving in at night or driving in during the day, I love turning the corner on the 15 freeway and seeing just the Vegas that you know and love in front of you. And there's a world of possibilities in front of you. That's what going to Disneyland is at Anaheim. You get on that tram and it starts to turn and you're just like, what am I going to do today? How many churros am I going to have? What cart am I going to get my hot chocolate at? Oh, am I going to get that Monte Cristo sandwich for lunch? Or maybe should I wait? Should I go to Pizza Port? Oh, let's go to Pizza Port in Tomorrowland. Let's do that. You don't know. You can plan all you want, and I plan my Disneyland trips. I like being in certain places at certain times. I like playing the Fast Pass game, or whatever they got now. They got something new now. Next time I go to Disneyland, I'm gonna have to call Ikaika and just have him guide me through it. But it's anticipation, man. Ikaika's afraid. Brian Tiller says all 100% accurate. Yeah, Brian Tiller knows. He's a channel member for a reason around here. I'm afraid of the Monte Cristo. That's okay. That's fine. The Monte Cristo sandwich is too much. As a concept, it's too much. As a concept, it's too far. As a concept of a sandwich plan, the Monte Cristo sandwich is a bridge too far for most people. But it is like an entire breakfast diner in your hand. And that's why I like the Monte Cristo. I don't do it all the time. It's heavy. It's heavy, babe. It's heavy. But don't be afraid of it, Ikaika. All right? Ikaika, you grab that thing, you put it in your mouth. All right? That's my motto in life. Grab the thing, put it in your mouth. Mark that down. Put it on a T-shirt for you, Ikaika. And then help me get through Disneyland. No, the Reuben's not better. No. Reuben sandwiches are horrendous. They're horrendous. It's the bread. I don't mind what's in the sandwich, but it's the bread. It's got that little poppy seed thing going on. What the hell's going on in the Reuben sandwich? See, this would be the Travel Channel show of me and Kingsport Kyle, where we're in some truck stop in Kansas, and he's like, Ken, you got to have this Reuben. I'm like, that Reuben's wrong, man. The Reuben's wrong. And we would have this argument. It would be great. Cameron wants that on a show. There you go. I got the new merch shop, Fourth Wall. Check out the merch. I got new merch. This is old merch, but the new merch is down. If you'd like to support, get a shirt, help me out. I'm not going to lie. It helps me out. B Team Zuck. But Vermont Mike's wrong too. In fact, Kingsport Cal, we're going to get in our Chrysler LeBaron because I want the show to happen in a Chrysler LeBaron. We're going to drive to Vermont Mike up in Vermont. And no, Reubens are one of those beautiful sandwiches on God's green earth. Pumpernickel bread. Is that, God, everything about it. Everything about it is wrong. John Mariano says no one did a Monte Cristo better than Bennigan's. I don't even know. I know a Bennigan's. Ikaika sending me pictures. I wish I was on my other computer. I could get this up. Of deviled eggs with Korean fried chicken at the Indiana Jones bar. What are you talking about, Ikaika? I found an Indiana Jones themed bar at Disney Springs. But is that in Orlando? They have deviled eggs with Korean fried chicken on top. Life-changing. I'm in. In fact, tell you what. Me, Kingsport Cal, and Vermont Mike, we're going to put down the Reubens, and we're going to go try whatever the hell this is. Deviled eggs with Korean fried chicken? You know, as a kid, I called them angeled eggs because my mom did not want to encourage satanic worship by calling them deviled eggs. It's true. I wish I was making that up. We called them angel eggs. Ikaika says he cried. It was so good. Try the snake. Surprise. It's Orlando. Well, I'm not getting to Orlando anytime soon. I love a good deviled egg. There you go. We can agree on that. 100% true. I think my mom would not want me to call her and confirm this, but yes. I called them angel eggs. Aaron Plays Poorly says, yes, it's in Orlando. It's called Jack Lindsay's Hangar Bar. Well, look at this. Lottie freaking da. Aaron with her bags of money traveling to Orlando to Jack Lindsay's Hangar Bar with Ikaika. I can't wait to go. Brian Tiller says, my go-to is the Hungry Bear restaurant for lunch. Sneaky good chicken sandwich. You can find seating. I would like to go to Disneyland with Brian Tiller. Just he and I. No wives, fiancés, kids, dogs. I think Brian Tiller and I, just two post-middle-aged men from Gen X going to Disneyland together would be fun. And we could ride back to back on Magic Mountain. I'll put my arms around him. I agree that the Hungry Bear restaurant is okay. Aren't they redoing the Hungry Bear's barbecue? That might be true. But if that's the case, rest in peace, Hungry Bear restaurant as we knew it. It is round by Splash Mountain side, which they thankfully finally redid Splash Mountain. And it's in the corner. The train goes by it. And it's always got seating, which is not a good sign, right? You think it's not good. It's good. It's a quality burger. It's shady. So if you're there on a summer day, it's got pine trees around. All right. Brian Tiller and I are going to Disneyland. Ikaika and I are going to an A's game. Then we're going to Orlando, where apparently Aaron has not been, if you're following along in chat. I haven't been to Disney World since 2019. She's so rich, she doesn't even need to go. These authors. Kingsport Cal and I are gonna travel the country in a Chrysler LeBaron and get up to Vermont Mike for Reubens, and then we're gonna go to Dollywood. One of my big regrets in life. Oh, and we got the update on this. Breaking news: the Hungry Bear restaurant is being rethemed to Country Bears and will be barbecue, since Disney seems to be obsessed with barbecue. Wow, I don't know what to think about that. Well, Tiller, I guess our dreams are done. One of my biggest regrets in life. Oh gosh, we're at 45 minutes. This is a double 20 minutes of coffee. If you become a channel member, you can hang out with me live, and then we make it public after. But everyone can watch the blathering. But if you become a channel member, you get to call into the blathering and talk to Mark Riley next week. One of my biggest regrets in life is heading to Gatlinburg, heading down to Pigeon Forge off the 40. And yes, I call it the 40. And heading to Dollywood. Me and my girlfriend at the time. And we were going to Dollywood. We both like theme parks. We're going to do this. It started to rain. The park didn't shut down. No one told us you can't go into Dollywood while it's raining. I'm sure they're used to it. Maybe a ride or two might be shut down. And we decided, well, maybe today's not the day we want to walk around in the rain at Dollywood. Let's go in. We went into the aquarium they got there. I did go to a very nice Bubba Gump shrimp, 2-story Bubba Gump shrimp there. Very nice. all Russian waiters. I don't know what that was about. Years later, I'm more suspicious about that than anything I've ever seen in my life. But it was good bubba gum. And I thought, well, we'll be back. We'll be back next year. And, well, we're no longer together. She's got a wonderful life. We still are friendly. But we, never went back. Never went back to Dollywood. Yeah, Aaron says this. You were in Pigeon Forge and didn't go to Dollywood. Yeah. Big Lou's here. Sup, my dude. Congratulations to Big Lou for finding employment. Everyone applaud for Big Lou. Big Lou in this climate found himself a job. All right, we gonna there you go. That's what I was looking for. Well, now with his job, Big Lou can take me to Dollywood. Well, on this Travel Channel show that Christian Ruvalcaba, who left, Christian Ruvalcaba is no longer in chat. He's no longer watching. I'll tell you what, too big for his britches. He's a big time producer at his company now, at his job. Plus, he's making his films. He doesn't stick around for my live streams. He doesn't stick around. I watch Wangers. I watch him and Cody get drunk in a closet every Monday night. I watch. I don't even know why I brought up his name. Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Mr. Big Shot producer Christian Ruvalcaba. Ruvalcaba. He's going to get married in, like, Modesto or something like that. He needs to produce a Travel Channel show, like a pitch. I have this idea. I've had this idea for like 20 years. I just didn't have people to help me make it a reality. Now we'll do that, and then we're gonna do this Chrysler LeBaron. Is it LeBaron or LeBaron? It's LeBaron, right? Chrysler LeBaron. Me and Kingsport Cal gonna drive around America. Two dudes in America. Rainy Wednesday in Florida. I do want to shout out. Well, no, that's the joke. No, I do want to. He just Beetlejuice. I liked Beetlejuice. By the way, thanks to those that watched my return to fandom. It's not Screen Junkies anymore. It's still the ghost of Screen Junkies. But Billy Biz, Spenny, Kenny, and the Biz with Emma. We did an hour about Beetlejuice yesterday live. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun to actually leave my house and kind of work at another office for a couple hours. It was a lot of fun. So watch it. It'd be great. LeBaron. Okay. Chrysler LeBaron. Thought it was right. I want to shout out before I get out of here. I do want to shout out Christian Ruvalcaba. Okay. He and Amber, they're getting married. Marriage. They're getting married. We had a great engagement. One of the best taco bar situations ever, which we talked about on the Wanger Show. Cody Hall ordering a quesadilla, and me and Cody trying to go back for quesadillas, but the guy was like, "No more. You guys clean me out." Pinche gringos. And it was a thing. He is getting married. We had the big engagement thing. And he basically told all of his friends, you can sit this one out. They're going, and I don't know if he's announced the country. They're going to a foreign land. And they're gonna the family's going out. They're going to a beautiful foreign land. Foreign to us. To other people, it's just their land, to be clear. And they're getting married, and then they're coming back. And we don't have to attend. We don't have to travel. Like, I'm not currently, down $5,000 for airplane tickets and hotels and some nice pants. They're handling it. Christian Ruvalcaba, that's the worst I've ever said his name. Ruva blah blah. Christian Ruvalcaba is handling his wedding. He and Amber are doing it right. We're going to go do our thing, sign some papers. We'll see you on the other side and we'll have some fun. It's one of my favorite things. UW fan Jim says, Ken, you're the best, but I'm not paying monthly until you read Battlefront Twilight Company. I accept that challenge. And I got an agreement. We're gonna do the travel show. We're doing the thing, baby. Yeah. It's great. We're happy for him, and I'm just happy I don't have to see it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But look, Cody Hall had a great wedding too. Cody Hall had such a great wedding that people were throwing up into the pool, into the fish pond. It was so good. And it could have been, I could have got a hotel room. It was enough of a travel wedding. It was Inland Empire. But, I wasn't down thousands of dollars. I was down a tank of gas. I don't even think I got Cody a gift. To be honest, I don't remember if I got Cody a gift. His registry might have been like, 2020 Topps baseball cards or something for all I know. I don't remember what Cody had on his registry. Ikaika says, my girlfriend lives in Modesto. Get her out of Modesto. What are you doing, Ikaika? Get out of Modesto. George Lucas got out of Modesto. I just was up there, driving through there, kind of coming up and around and down. No one needs to be in Modesto. One family vacation. We had the Volkswagen van. And our Volkswagen van, we were heading to Yosemite. And our Volkswagen van broke down in Fresno. And we had to wait like 2 days. This is one of my nightmare situations as a kid. We had to wait like 2 days in Fresno. Me, my sister, I think my grandma was with us. We could have been in Yosemite. One of the most beautiful places that white men have ever taken from the indigenous people here. Instead, we're in Fresno, which is near Modesto. I'm trying, it's gross. Yes. Kingsport Cow. Modesto is exactly where Kaika wants. This is the kind of content you're going to get on Cal and Ken Drive America. Is Modesto like the Yulee of Cali? What's Yulee? Is Yulee something in Florida? I'll look it up here. Census designated place in Florida. Well, that's not even a city or a town. It's a census designated place in Florida. I'm looking at it right now here. All right, let's do this here. This is why we do this here. I wish I had a technical director right now. Okay. Yulee, Florida. Wow. Is a census-designated place located within Nassau County, Florida, in the United States of these America. Positioned in northeastern Florida, Yulee lies directly south of the Florida-Georgia state line. Yikes. Marked by the St. Mary's River. Furthermore, is situated 24 miles north of downtown Jacksonville. It's not even a town. It's not even a township, a burg, a village. It's a census-designated place. Yeah, no, I'd say Modesto's a little bigger than that. Modesto's a city. Modesto's a city. No other way to look at it there. But wow, I learned something new today. This is what we do. We learn new things here. And I think it's almost time for me to go because I have to go take a chihuahua outside. And I have to get this beanie off because it is getting a little hotter here. Brian Taylor says a lot of Central Cali is brutal, but thanks for feeding everyone with your food. Now that's true. That's true. Let's point the truth out here. The agriculture that is done in Central California, which also pretty much takes all of our water, but that's not their fault. They got to grow the food. We need to fix. Watch Climate Town. Great YouTube channel, Climate Town. They just did a video on the water in California. But he's right. My hometown too is a big agriculture area. Oceano, Nipomo, mostly agriculture. I grew up in a beach town, and there are a lot of surfers. But for the most part, it is dudes in tight Wranglers with boots and fields upon fields of food. And Gilroy garlic. I've been through Gilroy. I have not been to the garlic festival in Gilroy. So there you go. All right, friends. 2 days in Fresno sounds like a Coen Brothers movie. It's great. I didn't even get to talk about how I did my I watched. Here's the movies I've watched. So here's Grace is out of town. Okay, she's hanging with her sister for like 8 days. And my wild, like, I get to be a bachelor thing is I'm watching movies in bed, right? We have a TV in a room that we don't really ever use. But I miss watching TV shows or movies before you fall asleep. Grace doesn't really like that, so we don't do it. And it's at a weird angle, so it hurts my neck anyways. Longer story. But I've been watching. Here's what I watched. High Fidelity. I watched Knocked Up, 500 Days of Summer, and Father of the Bride, the Steve Martin version, not the Spencer Tracy version. And last night I watched Serendipity. These are all like favorite movies of mine. High Fidelity is that in the book is always going to be one of my favorites. But I hadn't seen a lot of these movies in a while, and I wanted to watch them now through my current eyes to see how much did it turn out, my life, like I would imagine. How much of my life now is a surprise in a great way. How different things are than a magical romantic movie like Serendipity. How much of that is hogwash? How much of that did it build up false expectations in me for what love and relationships actually are, and where I am with it now? I got pretty deep. Adding Gross Point Blank in your golden. Yeah, Gross Point Blank remains my like an all-timer too. And that movie holds up for a lot of reasons. But and all these movies have some things attached to them, like there's conversations around them now. There's jokes and bits that we don't do anymore. They don't hold up. But beyond that, all these movies at one point affected me in a way. Like I always get 500 Days of Summer is one of my favorite films. It's one that younger generations have maligned. I've heard and seen some of the conversations. I get it. I also think they don't get a lot of what the movie was doing. But it's an important movie because it ended a relationship for me. Like it came toward not the movie. Like, I didn't come out of the movie and be like, we got to break up. But it helped me process what was a slowly dying relationship that wasn't dying in some over-the-top dramatic way, but it was dying, and I was holding on to what I thought was something I needed to hold on to, not just the person or the relationship, but the romance and the love. And what these movies taught me, I'm living that movie life, and I can't let that go. And I walked out of 500 Days of Summer a changed person. So that's why when I hear a lot of conversations about the movie from mostly younger folks, that I understand, and I'm here for their conversations. You're lessening the impact of what that movie did. So I rewatched that, Father of the Bride. It's been an interesting, fun, eye-opening journey. Aaron says, Serendipity is one of my favorites. It's an I always stop when I see it list. Yeah, absolutely. Love it. Great soundtrack. Great use of Nick Drake's Northern Skies. Big Cusack fan. Let's be honest. Kate Beckinsale. I'm team Kate Beckinsale. And Then, Now, and Forever. And I remember one of my friends who's a screenwriting teacher now. He's a fan of the movie too, and he doesn't really go for those type of movies. But he's like, it's a perfect movie because what a concept. Anything that happens in the movie, as far-fetched as it might seem, it's justified because the title of the movie is Serendipity. Literally anything can happen, and you can buy it because the movie's saying to you, it's destiny. It's all supposed to happen. It's magical. So. Who isn't Team Beckinsale? Big Lou says Kate Beckinsale is a really good Instagram follow. I don't follow her Instagram, Big Lou. That's all I'll say. Big Lou says Martin Short in Father Bride is genius. He is a genius, and we cannot lose his mind. Yeah. And it's fun. It's fun now too. I know a lot of people are discovering, younger people might be discovering Martin Short and Steve Martin for the first time with Only Murders in the Building now in season 4, which I haven't watched yet. I mean, I've watched the show. I just haven't watched the current season. It's fun to go watch them back then. A lot of fun. All right. Hey, we're on the way out of here. Like I said, next week, Mark Riley, we're planning on it. Things can change because Mark Riley is a young baby. And who knows, the Dolphins might play on another day. No. So tomorrow night, no blathering, not just because of the Dolphin game, but mostly because of the Dolphin game. Also a busy week. Become a channel member so you can watch this show live and hang out with me, like folks like Brian Tiller, Dave McKay, 8984M, Laserbolt Videos, and the whole team. But also update, Pop Rockin' Radio is kind of back for those who enjoyed my radio show. Now it's an actual radio show. I have a bunch of pre-recorded episodes. So some of them are almost out of date. Some of them are like, hey, next year, meaning 2024, this band's releasing new music. But check it out. It is on Hall of Fame Music Radio Sunday nights at midnight. But you can listen wherever you are and wherever your time zone is through TuneIn, the radio app, or the Radio Box app, or there is an app just called, I think, the Radio app. But TuneIn's the place you can listen to it, or our website, hofmradio.com. So wherever you are, they're usually about an hour or 2 hours, but they're broken up into segments. So if you just want to hang out, get some good music, and you miss what I was doing with Pop Rockin' Radio, it is back, baby. It is going, and we're rocking and popping. And you can also, if you're a Patreon supporter, you get the episodes so you don't miss them. All right, so that's that. I hung out. We had a lot of fun. At least I did. I hope you did as well. We'll see you next time here. 20 minutes of coffee. Oh, I had the song queued up and then I moved it. There we go. Bye.